welcome and take it away.
Great. Thank you very much, Brad. Good to be with you. Great to be part of this slightly strange, but good to be amongst friends again. Really good. So just so you know where I am, this is where I'm at in the bottom right-hand side of the UK, down there in a little place called Felixstowe, about a mile from the sea. And the great thing about doing this from home virtually rather than doing it there is that actually I was having a swim in the sea only an hour ago. So you can't do that when you're actually at the conference, can you? So that's pretty good. So that's me, and the sea is still pretty warm here, although the weather's turning autumnal tomorrow. Anyway, enough of that. I'm just moving on. Before I talk specifically about the 2110 over WAN work, just wanted to put this slide up on the synergies. It's something that we've been discussing across the teams in the last couple of weeks, and I just thought it was worth explaining with our RGB circles that there is some intrinsic overlap between the work that in the group that I've been leading, the activity group on 2110 over WAN, and the one that Rick and Wes have been leading, the RIST, and the one that John and myself have been looking at on the ground to cloud, cloud to ground, which John's going to talk to you about shortly. So there's some overlap, and what we've been doing is looking at the way that we can best make use of not reinventing the wheel between groups, but also making sure we have full operability, interoperability, and adopting a common approach to doing different elements. So more on that to follow, I'm sure. So what's this group all about? This group is all about the fact that as we're converging multiple IP facilities over wide area networking, suddenly we have this opportunity to create a distributed production architecture which offers high flexibility. The benefit of IP is not just about replacing SDI cables with IP fiber. In fact, it's not that at all. That doesn't give us really any benefit, and it's at worst, at best, cost neutral. But what if we can leverage the benefit of sharing people resources, sharing real estate resources, and sharing equipment and processing resources, then actually the whole IP story becomes a great one. And this slide here kind of demonstrates that, the concept of sharing different elements in a distributed production environment. As soon as we do this, we're coming outside of our IP LAN, our campus facility that we've been lovingly pulling together as part of the 2110 suite and the NMOS suite, and that's up and running very effectively. But as we start to interconnect these things, we want to interconnect them in a way that actually allows us to flexibly share resources, yet maintains the security of our facility and makes it easy for the service providers to provide the interconnect that we need to do that. So the focus we've got on in this group is defining what happens on the interconnect between different facilities. Now, as you can see here, that facility could be a campus, it could be an IP production campus, it could be an OB truck for a full remote production, it could be a cloud termination point. So all of those things are valid, and what we've got effectively, we've been looking at defining the data flows, the media essences themselves, and then also defining, which is proving the slightly more complex and long-winded element, defining the control, the way the control plane works between facilities in a way that actually allows us to share securely and flexibly. So we want as much plug and play as possible in a secure manner, if you see what I mean. So the data essences part, we finished defining about 9 months ago. So that's ready. It defines a few of the basic approaches in the options, a toolkit of tunneling, of error correction, of -7, essence recommendations on the alignment of essences as they go traverse the WAN boundary, how to carry other data types as well, etc., etc. So there's a whole wealth of things there. The control plane is all about assuming that each facility has probably an NMOS or maybe other control system within that facility. We don't want to mess with that. We want each facility to be autonomous, yet be able to share resources. So I've just got a tiny little picture here which builds up, which is really just to kind of show you conceptually. I'm not going to unpack this at all today, but just the concept. We've got the blue facility and we've got the green facility, and we've got that WAN DMZ in between. And what we've been working on is architecting a way of one facility requesting the use of sources and resources from the other facility granting those resources, and then at the right time making those available, and those are proxied via the gateways so they appear as resources in the end user facility. That's as much as I'm going to unpack. If you're excited and tantalized by that, then why not join the group for the last few weeks of heavy slog, hopefully, as we actually come through and bring this to a close. So data plane, control plane, and that allows us to actually get, will allow us to actually be able to, if effectively, to cooperate between facilities, sharing resources, federate the signals, and allow the most plug and play to allow that flexibility of sharing of people, of real estate, and of processing between different locations. So that's the aim of where we've got to. And it wouldn't be one of my presentations as I draw to a close without me saying, if we're ever allowed to meet again, and I ideally hope we are, then I would love to make you a cup of tea. So if you ever get allowed over to the UK again, then do come and give me a call. Or if I come over to the US again when I'm allowed, I'll bring some tea bags and some really hot boiling water, and we can have a nice cup of tea together. Okay, that's my brief summary. If you want more, come to the activity group. Thank you.